All right, so we are here working on some drawing problems today. So we're going to kind of start to work these where we're filling in the missing view and drawing it. So we're going to start by kind of doing some blocking and using our projection lines, our construction lines, to kind of go through and block some areas off where we know our front view and our side view will be. So the first thing I'll start with is drawing all my horizontal lines. Now, when I talk about blocking, so as we're looking at this, we can see our front view. If we can block in what the front view looks like with those outside lines. And here we've got and know exactly where all the outside lines are for the front view. We know where all the outside lines are for the top view. We don't yet know where all of them are for the side view. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll start, and I'm just going to come through and I'm going to project over from all of these outside dimension lines that I'm showing here. So, and you'll see, so we've got 4 horizontal lines there, right like that. And then we know that there's a relationship between all of these, so I will also kind of just do some construction lines here. So, and again, I'm just kind of showing the relationship between outside dimensions in each of our view. Now, we have this spacing between the front view and the top view, and in order for this to work out right, we need the same spacing between our front view and our side view. So I can come in here, right like this, and I can measure that if I really want to. So, and in this case, it is basically, we got about 2 centimeters. So we'll come back here and I'll mark this at 2 centimeters. And that tells me that the spacing is the same. Now, there's another way that I can do this as well, and that's with a projection of what I call a 9th line. So we can come off of the corner, the top corner there of that front view. So here I'm putting my 45-degree triangle on here, and I'm coming off of this top corner, and I'm drawing a 45-degree line. Now, what's nice about that is it can also tell me here as I go through this, so I can then use that to project over and down. So in this case here, at that intersection point right there, so here's my intersection point. So I can project down from there. So that's where the side view starts, and I follow this line up here over till it intersects with that 45-degree line. That's about right there. So I'm also going to then at that intersection point project down too. So now that right here, so these 4 points kind of give me the blocking for my side view. So everything that's going to happen here is going to happen in this area right here. So that's the area that everything is going to be drawn in the side view. And at this point I can kind of go back in and I can start to look at, examine clues in the front view and in the top view to kind of get that. Of course, here they also give us the isometric, so we can kind of use what we see here in the isometric to get that and start to fill in. Now, and start to go back over those construction lines with our solid object line. So I know that I'm going to have a solid object line right here on the bottom. And I also know that I'm going to have a solid object line up top. I'm actually going to have an angled line here and a solid one there as well. So I've got, I can go ahead and start to darken these object lines now. So again, remember your object lines are gonna be, really pop out of the paper, so I'm gonna make those as dark as I can. Okay. So when we got that in there right like that, now I gotta kind of determine where the angle comes in. So I've got this angle coming right here. And the way we do that is by this projection line. So I know that I've got to have a relationship between this point and this view and where that comes in over here. So I'll just take my triangle here, I'll project this over, and I know at that intersection point, I'm going to have something occurring. I'm going back to this drawing here to see, so I got a line that goes from this top point. So again, we see in this view, that goes all the way across, so that's telling me something, and I still see that. So this line in this view is this right here. And I can't see in this view, I can't see that that goes down like this. So I'm gonna come back in. So I know now that this view will look like this, and I more or less connect the dots. And that is what my block here from the side view will look like. Now to clean this up, I'll go back, I'll kind of erase some of these construction lines, brush the markings off with my brush so that I get rid of any of the shavings. So kind of try to be as clean and neat here as I can to get that in, but that solves this part. And I know that this is what the side view should look like. Now I had a student ask me earlier today, well, how do you know just by looking at this, if you don't have the isometric, we can tell from the isometric that that is a angled part. He's like, but if you don't have the isometric, how do you know that this is the case? Well, you're still solving clues and you're still given enough information in both your front view and your top view to know, just by looking at this, I know that that is inclined, that this surface is inclined, because I'm seeing it split apart here, and I see this solid object line right here in this front view. So that tells me that it's inclined facing me. And then the question was asked, well, how do you know that it's inclined facing you and not inclined facing behind you? So, well, if it was inclined going the other way, then these would be hidden lines because I wouldn't see it. So, or if this case, if this part were rotated around and if my front view here was actually in the back and I was looking at it from the other direction, then I would know that that was inclined going down, and it would be on the other side because I would basically see those as hidden lines in that case. So anyway, that's drawing number 2 here, as we're trying to visualize these shapes and get these drawings squared away and help us to understand what we're looking at as we're trying to read our blueprints.